Welcome to Reds Fusion LFC, your hub for Liverpool news, transfers, and passion. You'll never walk alone. Liverpool's transfer window drama is hitting fever pitch, with Alexander Isak emerging as a top target, Arne Slot weighing a huge Milos Kerkez decision, and European giants circling one of the Reds' key stars. The coming weeks could reshape Anfield's season before it even begins. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with every twist and turn in the transfer window. Alexander Isak plan confirmed as talks held before Liverpool transfer deadline. Latest Liverpool transfer news as Sweden head coach Jon Dahl Tomasson has explained their plan for Alexander Isak amid his transfer saga. Sweden head coach Jon Dahl Tomasson has defended his decision to select Liverpool transfer target Alexander Isak. The 25-year-old was a surprise inclusion in his squad for their forthcoming internationals against Slovenia and Kosovo, despite not playing a competitive minute for Newcastle United so far this term. The Swede has been at the center of this summer's transfer saga after expressing a desire to swap St. James's Park for Anfield. However, the Magpies' hierarchy have stood firm on their stance that he was not for sale, rejecting a $110 million approach from Arne Slot's side. After missing their preseason tour of the Far East, Isak was forced to train on his own after Eddie Howe returned to Tyneside. The forward also missed the opener against Aston Villa after maintaining his desire to leave the club. The former Blackburn Rovers manager, Dahl Tomasson, remained cautious surrounding the situation surrounding one of his star forwards but praised the quality of the finisher. It is very difficult to have a clear opinion about the situation. We do not know what has happened in the club, he said. We must be very careful about drawing hasty conclusions when we do not have the whole picture. He is smart enough. He is smarter than me, I think. Alex is a very professional player, a strong character, and he has worked hard. He is a game changer, Tomasson added. I have spoken to him several times. Mentally, he is strong. What we have said stays between us, of course. Can he play 90 minutes? Of course not. Not at all. Isak's future is set to be resolved in the coming days, with the transfer window closing at 7 p.m. on deadline day on Monday. Arne Slot faces major Milos Kerkez decision as Liverpool consider new-look midfield. Liverpool are next up against Arsenal in the Premier League, with Arne Slot facing some selection posers. Liverpool traveled another roller coaster on Monday evening, as they secured a dramatic 3-2 Premier League victory at Newcastle United. Ryan Gravenberch and Hugo Ekitike scored either side of Anthony Gordon, being sent off before Bruno Guimaraes and William Osula drew Newcastle level only for teenager Rio Ngumoha to snatch an injury-time winner for the Reds. Arne Slot's side will now face another major test of their title defense when they entertain early leaders Arsenal at Anfield on Sunday afternoon. And here we look ahead to the changes Slot could make when his team are next in action. Konate concerned Liverpool leaked 2 goals for the third successive game, with the new-look defense continuing to have teething problems, and a decision may have to be made at left-back. Milos Kerkez was improved at Newcastle, but caught out for the first goal from the home side, and could now be under pressure from Andy Robertson for a starting role with Kostas Tsimikas again left out completely. On the other flank, while Dominik Szoboszlai was impressive as a makeshift right-back on Tyneside, there will be relief. Connor Bradley came through a late cameo unscathed and could now be ready to start. Joe Gomez, another option, is likely to be considered only for action from the bench. Jeremy Frimpong is out until after the forthcoming international break. Gomez's lack of fitness, along with new signing Giovanni Leone having yet to play for Liverpool since arriving, means Ibrahima Konate is almost certain to continue at centre-back, alongside skipper Virgil van Dijk, despite a poor start to the campaign. In goal, Alisson Becker showed on Monday why he is the undisputed number 1 ahead of Georgi Mamardashvili and Freddie Woodman. Mac Allister the engine room selections will depend on whether Alexis Mac Allister is declared fit after missing out at Newcastle. If the Argentina international makes it, he will be favorite to line up alongside Gravenberch at the base of the midfield for the first time since April. But should Mac Allister remain sidelined, Slot has options. Curtis Jones started against Newcastle, and Wataru Endo featured for the closing moments, while Szoboszlai could return to a more accustomed role if not required at right back. Florian Wirtz has had an eye-opening start to life in England, but will be expected to continue in the number 10 role with Szoboszlai, Jones, and Harvey Elliott alternatives. Chiesa option Ngumoha was the match winner on Monday, but isn't ready to start such a high-profile game as the visit of Arsenal. Cody Gakpo, then, will be expected to continue down the left flank. Mohamed Salah is firmly established on the right wing with Ekitike's impressive start to life at Liverpool as a central striker continuing with a third goal in as many games at Newcastle. Federico Chiesa is the Reds' only other established forward option at present, although Elliott has previously played on either flank. Newcastle now desperate to sign an Alexander Isak replacement amid interest from Liverpool. Alexander Isak couldn't be trying any harder to get his dream move to Liverpool over the line. The striker has refused to play for Newcastle and has even released a statement saying that promises were broken by them regarding his future. Liverpool are also waiting to sign their dream target this summer, but after their first bid worth $110 million was rejected, the Reds are yet to make another move. Newcastle now desperate to sign a new striker this summer. Since the start of the summer transfer window, the main thing that has held a deal up is that Newcastle haven't been able to source a replacement for their star man. Strikers such as João Pedro, Benjamin Sesko, and Hugo Ekitike have all chosen to explore other opportunities that were presented to them rather than become the new leading man for Eddie Howe's team. This has caused the Magpies to slap a massive $150 million price tag on Isak's head, with their stance not changing from the fact that they don't want to sell. However, as per a new report from Sky Sports journalist Keith Downey, it seems like Newcastle are now getting desperate to sign a new number 9 this summer. Behind all of this, and this has been the case for a number of weeks now, is that Newcastle are pretty much getting desperate when it comes to replacements, he said. We know that they tried to send Benjamin Sesko as a replacement for Isak to allow him to go. They failed. They tried to sign Hugo Ekitike, who of course went to Liverpool and ironically scored here at St. James's Park against Newcastle last night. They missed out on João Pedro and Liam Delap, and they've tried and failed a number of times, and they're still at the table active in the market, and I think if they manage to get maybe 1, hopefully 2, there's a chance Alexander Isak could leave between now and the closure of the transfer window. Liverpool must make up their mind about Alexander Isak before it's too late. Isak's potential move to Liverpool has been one of the most drawn-out transfer sagas in recent memory. From the start, it's been clear that Liverpool and Isak have wanted the move to go through, but with the way that things have been handled at Newcastle, that option has never really been on the table. At the moment, they have 4 senior attacking options available to them, and unless another attacker is brought in, it's hard to see how the Reds would survive the season and remain competitive. Of course, it's up to Slot and Richard Hughes regarding what players they choose to bring in, but if 1 or 2 additions aren't made before the window closes, the Reds could be in for a whole world of trouble. Steve Nicole says struggling Liverpool star needs to change position after difficult start to this season. Liverpool's wins might be rather deceiving on the eye after some pretty poor performances from individuals. The Reds have started their title defense off with a 100% record so far, but based on how they have performed, they are very lucky to be in this position. They have scored plenty of goals, but also conceded far too many, with counterattacks and set pieces appearing to be the main problem. Although Liverpool have a wealth of talent from front to back, opponents seem to be able to carve them open far too easily, something Arne Slot might need to work on if they are to win back-to-back Premier Leagues. And, according to ex-Red Steve Nicole, there is one player in particular who he thinks might be part of the problem, with the Scotsman suggesting he needs to move position so he can improve. Alexander Isak transfer saga may distract Liverpool in huge early-season clash. Liverpool is chasing the signing of Swedish striker Alexander Isak from Newcastle as Arne Slot and his players look to retain their Premier League title this season. Arsenal has been informed that it can capitalize on the Alexander Isak situation when it visits Anfield to take on Liverpool this weekend, mere days before the summer transfer window closes. Isak, 25, has been connected with both clubs throughout recent months, following another outstanding campaign at Newcastle. However, it is Liverpool who remains optimistic about securing the Sweden international in what would constitute a British record transfer before the September 1st deadline, with Isak doing everything possible to engineer a departure. Newcastle has found itself embroiled in a standoff with its leading striker, who remains determined that he will not represent the club again, while Liverpool expresses interest. The Reds are anticipated to pursue Isak between now and the window's conclusion, and former Arsenal defender Lauren believes the Isak distraction could assist his former club in their quest to return to North London with all 3 points. You have to aim for 3 points and not think about a draw, Lauren told AceOdds.com, especially in the early moments of the season, when Liverpool, Arsenal, none of the players are at 100% because you need a few more games to be at your best level. The momentum is good for Arsenal. They beat Man United away from home and got 3 points against Leeds. It will not be an easy game, but I believe we are in a good position, mentally and in terms of quality. Also the way we play, and some players have been there for many years and been in this same situation. We are in a position and ready to win against Liverpool and hopefully go on to win the league. We hope the Isak situation can distract Liverpool, but I just care about Arsenal getting the 3 points. It's all about the 90 minutes on the pitch. Sometimes problems are there, but players don't care about that. Competitive players want to win. The Gunners will be without Bukayo Saka for their clash with Liverpool, as the England international is expected to be sidelined for approximately 4 weeks due to a hamstring problem. Martin Odegaard may be available for selection, however, despite picking up a knock during Saturday's emphatic 5-0 victory over Leeds. Meanwhile, the club's new signing, Eberechi Ez, looks set to make his debut. Euro giants now waiting for an opening to sign important Liverpool ace this summer. Liverpool have had a massive clear-out of their ranks this summer. Players such as Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez have been moved on by Arne Slot with the Jas. Dutchman looking to rebuild his first-team squad to give them the best chance of success. Several players have already been brought to Anfield to make this dream become a reality, with the likes of Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike among the most exciting arrivals. However, due to the amount of change that has taken place on the red half of Merseyside this summer, the team still needs some time to gel and get to know how one another plays. And since there are still a few days left of the transfer window, it's unlikely that any rumors will die down until the window slams shut, which means that plenty of changes could still occur. Roma are waiting for an opening to sign Kostas Tsimikas from Liverpool. Among the players that Liverpool have signed this summer was Milos Kerkez. The left-back had a rather impressive season for Bournemouth throughout the 2024-25 campaign, which earned him a $45 million move to Anfield. However, due to the arrival of the Hungarian, Liverpool now have 3 senior left-backs among their ranks, and with Andy Robertson's contract set to expire at the end of the season, Kostas Tsimikas is the one who's most likely to depart. And, as per a fresh report from Sky Sports journalist Gianluca Di Marzio, Roma are now just waiting for an opening to sign the Greek Scouser from Liverpool. Di Marzio outlines that the left-back is still a solid target for Gianpiero Gasparini's side, with the deal only set to materialize if the Reds allow him to leave on loan. The report goes on to say that although Liverpool will want to have Tsimikas' future sorted as soon as possible, Roma are willing to wait until the end, with the Serie A outfit now confident that the Reds' stance on a permanent sale will soften by the deadline. Liverpool could do with getting Kostas Tsimikas' wage bill off their books, although it's clear that Tsimikas wouldn't be getting much playing time if he stayed at Liverpool this summer. It's still sad to think that the Greek Scouser could end up exiting Anfield. Indeed, the move is only likely to be a loan to start off with. But if he performs well, there's no hiding from the fact that Roma would likely want to acquire his services permanently. And, as sad as Tsimikas's exit would be, the money that would get taken off Liverpool's overall wage bill would likely help the Anfield outfit fund a move for the likes of Mark Guehi or Alexander Isak. Of course, Tsimikas' wage alone wouldn't cover the weekly wages of the aforementioned duo, but it could certainly take a hefty chunk of it off their minds. Only time will tell what the future has in store, but for now, it feels likely that Tsimikas will be exiting Anfield before the deadline strikes. That is, even though he was once dubbed an important player by Jurgen Klopp. Thanks for watching today's video, Reds family. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the latest Liverpool updates. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions on the transfers, matches, and everything happening at Anfield. This is Reds Fusion LFC, bringing you the passion of the cop straight to your screen. Until next time, you'll never walk alone.